Good afternoon, it's Kinninigan. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about Alpha Draconians, which is actually making its way to my book, which, unlike a lot of people who publish books on Amazon, my sources are solid, including academic links, which I'm going to show you. This book is about one thing. If you had to think of a word to describe an Alpha Draconian reptilian, you're looking at a sketch right there, an illustrator working with me on my book. And I have a lot of sketches, even paintings of these Alpha Draconians. Not just the fact that they look sort of avian, which they do, but what word would you use, like if you had to write about them in a book and describe them? Uh, well, I'd say the perfect word would be grotesque, because that was a word that was invented by French archaeologists to describe frescoes of Alpha Draconian reptilians they had found on the wall of Nero's Golden Palace when excavating in Rome. So, yeah, this is. But not only that, what had reminded me of this was I want you to listen to something here because we're also going to give Nancy Pelosi. I'm going to give her a little lecture on the meaning of the word. She's using words she doesn't know the meaning of. Because when you call Orange Man grotesque, to me you're saying he's a reptilian, which is kind of funny because I'm going to show you something else right after this.
Political viability. He's really grotesque.
Okay, grotesque. That's kind of funny because I have her on my.
No, I'm not a poor baby. I'm more reptilian, cold-blooded. No, I'm not a.
Now, why is the word grotesque used to describe Alpha Draconians? I'll explain this part because this part I actually don't have a link for because it's something I don't know. Could have been it was a while ago. I forget. I might have found the documentary on YouTube, and I'm going back about 10 years when I first saw this. I watch a lot of documentaries. I've always had an interest in ancient Rome. I had also known for quite a long time that a lot of the archaeology found in places around Pompeii and Rome, a lot of it is covered up because they don't want the public to see it. Especially if you find frescoes of Alpha Draconians on the wall of Nero's palace. Now, you can go visit Nero's palace now. Since then, there's no doubt whatsoever the frescoes have been removed. Yes, they can be removed. If you know what a fresco is, it's Venetian plaster, which is basically volcanic ash made into a plaster, and they actually paint it onto the wall like plaster. I have plaster walls in my house because that's how the houses are in Philly. Our houses on the East Coast were built by the Italian immigrants that came over. Yes, and they also brought a lot of their we like yeah. So I'm very familiar with what plaster walls are. I even know how to repair plaster. It's an art form that it's kind of lost, even Venetian plaster. That's what a fresco is, and yeah, they can be removed. Well, there was a documentary that was about the excavation of Nero's Golden Palace. I try to pull some websites up on this. I could show you kind of like what the inside of the palace looks like. And the French archaeologists that were excavating the palace. Now, the root of the word grotesque comes from obviously the French word for grotto. That's what the beginning part is, because I believe these depictions might have first been found in the grotto. Nero's palace has like 200 rooms. It's massive. There were a lot of and Nero. There's a reason probably why he is one of the more famous emperors in history. Without a doubt, he himself would have been an Alpha Draconian in human form, and that's where the whole concept of fiddle away as Rome burns and Nero comes from. Well, the French archaeologists had they had discovered frescoes on the wall of strange creatures. And they didn't know how to describe them. They didn't know what they were looking at. And I'm pretty damn sure that's because they were looking at something that probably looked like this or like that. So this word was invented to describe these creatures they had found on the wall in Nero's Golden Palace in frescoes as grotesque. And grotesque goes back. Now, do I have links to actually? Well, they're not going to admit to that, obviously. This is what mainstream does. This is why I said I'll never be on the History Channel because I'm not a Freemason. Okay, I wouldn't trust anything that comes out of anyone's mouth that goes on shows like Ancient Aliens. Go watch their show about reptilians. It's a fucking joke. And no, they will. This is another thing that's worrying about publishing my book. Not only am I good at what I do, and I found out a lot about these entities, but I am also using sources that come right out of academia. So when they try to discredit anything that I publish in my book, they're going to have a very hard time doing it. Oh, by the way, please, I always forget to tell people this. Please share, like, and subscribe. If you could support the channel, I would appreciate it. Um, yeah, money is always bad for me. I always need cigarettes, so if you could support the channel, a little bit goes a long way for me. Always need cat food. I always need food. Yeah, but yeah, I am still working on a book here, and this is something that is going into my book. Obviously, in the chapter about describing what they look like, and I do have an academic source for this. It's not what it is. I'm signed up to a site called Academia. This is where I get. This is where I got the text where I was doing all my research for the cynocephaly, the dogmen, and I had links, and I found the journals of Christopher Columbus on this website because this is one of the reasons about. It's the metaphor of the burning of Alexandria, the Great Library, and what they are. This is what cultural Marxism is attempting to do right now, and this is why you have people like Nancy Pelosi are throwing out words like grotesque, not even known. Yeah, you're basically calling them a reptilian. If you don't know the meaning of words, whatever. Uh, but this is the source. Now, there is a text here at this website. Does it prove it? But it's interesting because this PDF, just load up in a second. I don't know if I'm logged into the website. That's nothing to do with my internet connection. I might not be. Hold on, view PDF. Maybe that'll. There we. Something went wrong. All right, their website's down. Not a big deal. It happens. Well, anyway, this is academia. It's no big deal. Their servers down. Nerds hang out this place. People come here who are looking for academic, and it's free. You could sign up, but you could read like free stuff here. I do all the time. I found great stuff, but here's the PDF. I already have the PDF downloaded. I'm not gonna. I just want to show it on the website here. The website's down. No big deal. It's academia.eu if you're interested in a website. You can go look at all kinds of free academic stuff here. But there is a. I don't know. What's the right word I'm looking for? These journals? I guess that would be the right. They're not long documents, journals, whatever you want to call them, but they're academic. All of them are. Um, anyway, this one's called Nero's Golden House: Italian Art and the Grotesque in Don Quixote Part 2. And yeah, Italian Art and the Grotesque in Nero's Golden House. Where did that? Yeah, there. I I don't think it's a stretch to say that the word grotesque was rooted from what they found in Nero's Golden House from the French. Now, in the show, they did say that what was found in the grotto was never shown to the public. There's a lot of stuff they didn't show to the public. Stuff that was found in Pompeii, stuff that was found, well, there's no shortage of stuff that they've tried to cover up throughout history. But there is without a doubt, yeah. And then there was like this grotesque Renaissance movement of art in the century that basically dealt with. It was like the Renaissance equivalent to modern art. Yeah, very So grotesque became this new word to describe stuff that was bizarre or. But it absolutely is a great way to describe Alpha Draconian reptilians because that's where the word is rooted from. To describe depictions of Alpha Draconians they found on frescoes in Nero's Golden House, his Golden Palace. Um, yeah, the website's still down. No big deal. The only reason I have this bookmarked is obviously to use it as a link for the connection to Grotesque in Italian art and Nero, which is very important. Even though I don't even have to really do that. I could still use the word grotesque to describe them, and that's still a perfect word for any kind of prose that I'm writing about. Yeah, using prose in my uh it's a perfect word to describe them. So yeah, Alpha Draconians are grotesque. There were depictions of them found in Nero's palace as these bizarre, grotesque-looking creatures. A lot of stuff has been hidden from Nero's palace. We know that now. Like when you look at pictures on the website now, you could tell like stuff. Look, this that pic right there shows a mermaid. Do you see it? It looks like yeah, that is a merman. Look at this. They showed this. You see the tail? Look, that's a merman. Look at his tail. So not all the frescoes were removed. They left the merman up there. Interesting. Why would you leave the merman up there but take down the grotesque, bizarre looking bird like creatures? Hmm. Interesting, right? Why do people covering other conspiracy topics now have to go through 10 YouTube channels in 6 years? But as soon as you go full reptilian, yeah, they're gonna, yeah, makes you wonder, right? Why is reptilian one of the few in fact, I'll probably have it on this video right now. Why is reptilian one of the few words that gets a Wikipedia link? Yet, if you do a video about Bigfoot, you don't get a Wikipedia link. Did you ever notice that? Or unicorns? You can make a video about unicorns, you won't get a Wikipedia link. Yeah, Wikipedia is a joke. Everyone knows it is. You can't even update the page on reptilians. It's locked. And the only human name they put in there is David Icke, who doesn't teach shit about reptilians and did not have academic links in his book Children of the Matrix, as far as I know. And I have a whole list of academic links to prove everything I'm saying in my books, including writing a whole book about Alpha Draconians, not just books that are 700 pages where reptilians mentioned a dozen times, and that's it. And the rest of it is just this new age, preachy kind of wishy-washy shit. A lot like the shows that come on History Channel. Yeah, I already know what they do. But look, that is a mermaid. So yeah, this is Nero's Golden Palace. You can notice like a lot of the stuff has been removed from the walls. And let me show you another pic here. This looks like a ritualistic room right here, set up for black magic. Just saying. Look, you have the octagon. Is that an octagon? Yeah, that is. Interesting. Well, no surprise there. Nero, if he was reptilian, they ruled the occult. Rome was very pagan, obviously. So no surprise that they would have ritualistic rooms in their golden palaces. But you can notice, yeah, a lot of stuff has been stripped from the walls. A lot of the some of the frescoes have gone into museums, obviously, but they have been removed, some of them, specifically the ones about the grotesque creatures. Yeah, because they were Alpha Draconians. Where are they now? I would probably assume that those frescoes from Nero's palace, along with other artifacts from Babylon and ancient Rome, Greece, what have you, have probably found their way to Greenland. That's the whole Rome and the Greenland theory thing, without a doubt. That would be art that would be prized by the Council of 300. So yeah, that's kind of my rant here. Looking for a word to describe reptilians. Grotesque doesn't. There isn't a better word. In fact, it is the word made to describe them. Yeah. So that looks. This room. Yeah, I'm not saying it was a ritualistic room. Just it looks it. I would love to go visit Rome one day. Who knows? Maybe I will. I went to Area 51 in 2017. Never thought that would happen. Yeah, that's. I gotta get those videos back on YouTube. I did go to Area 51, and I got stuff on video that could shut down their whole climate scam because I filmed 0 point energy there, and I didn't get confronted by the camo dudes or the men in black didn't stop me at the airport when I came home. They knew who I was. They knew I was there. They let me leave with my SD cards. Probably because they're like, no one's gonna believe it anyway. Yeah, I'll get those videos back on YouTube. I did film UFOs, but the UFOs were pulling energy from the ionosphere right in front of us. It was. Oh, and if you didn't know, when you go to Area 51, there's signs when you get there. It says Department of Energy. Think of, you would think it would say U.S. Air Force or something. No, Department of Energy. That's another hidden thing. Um, so yeah, I have the. This is just yeah, Nero's Golden Palace in Rome. It was at one time underground. It was excavated because when these French archaeologists have found it, they were excavating it obviously, and it was the grottos that they were excavating, and they found these just strange depictions. They didn't say what the creatures looked like in the documentary, but I was like, what else could they have been? Seriously, it wouldn't have been demons, right? Because demons in ancient Rome are depicted as not children exactly. They are. All right. Is this YouTube reminding me to turn my ad rev on? Spring shopping is here, YouTube creators. Yeah, look, every day they send me an email telling me to turn my ad rev on, and I'm not going to do it because they'll put all my videos up for monetization review, and I don't get enough traffic on the videos to even make, it's like 10 cents on every 1,000 views. It's not worth it. So if you could support the channel, yeah, I don't want to put ads in my videos. And if you ever see an ad in my video, it might be because I have copyrighted material in there, and the copyright holder will say, okay, you can have it in your video, but we're going to run ads. And here's an example, like the video I made about predictive programming about Sri Lanka, because I used the Netflix clip from the Obama movie. So Netflix is like, it's cool. I know how to, where I learned how to submit copyright appeal at YouTube? Harvard University has a copyright thing right on their website. Another academic link that you can actually go and learn about copyright, and that's what I did. So, like I said, I had to be jack of all trades doing this and teach myself. But yeah, they send me emails every day. This don't email me at this. This is just the email attached to this YouTube channel. My main email is Kinninigan@gmail. Everyone knows that. I mean, this is just for my YouTube channel. The good thing is, I'm still getting alerts that people subscribe. Straw Bunny, welcome to the channel. Well, that's a cool name for spring, straw bunny. That's a good sign because it means my sub count is not being messed with, and I have to be good until I had to go to community guideline school because I mentioned a certain 17th letter of the alphabet. Part of that lecture involved me denouncing to. I'm not going to say anything. It's all the keyword because there's a few words. I'm not even going to say them. So until May 13th, which is a little over a month, I have to be good. No drunken rants in the morning. Hey, and I'm already upset about the school I had to go to because there was a certain question I had to denounce, and in that question, it specifically said celebrities and politicians. Since when are they protected classes? Celebrities. And guess what I had to deal with? Yeah. Try to imagine the subject that had to deal with. Mm-hmm. So that's what your community guideline school is at YouTube. Whatever your strike was for, they have certain questions already set up for you. All of mine were about that 17th letter of the alphabet. And, oh, this rang true. Yeah, why do you care so much, right? Just like going back to the grotto in Nero's Golden Palace. Why wouldn't you show the depictions of the grotesque creatures? But yet you left the merman on the wall, so I just showed you that. Leave the mermaids, hide the reptilians. Yeah. All right. I get a little spirited when I talk about YouTube. Do you blame me though? And yeah, I don't do doom porn on my channel, so nothing happened yesterday. All right. They can go take their prophecies, and I don't do prophecies and fear porn. There is no fear porn when I said that these entities are controlling the earth and they need to be gotten rid of, and everything else that you're experiencing is just a side effect of these parasitic creatures. And 99% of the shit that is happening is being done to humans from other humans who have joined their secret societies and occult orders, or even if they're just freelance black magicians, they're still dealing with archons, and that is what brought these entities into Atlantis in the first place, was blood magic. Now, our source for that is the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, but they're not going to take that as a... I don't care. Even David Icke had mentioned the Emerald Tablets in Children of the Matrix. I do know that, but he never went into detail about it because, and it wasn't. Uh, that's going to be a hard one to explain. Where did I get my name from, Kinninigan? Because it's not mentioned in the Emerald Tablets. Where did I get it from? I'm not going to tell you any bullshit story that I have. See, a lot of people that put a lot of disinformation out there, they always got these weird, bizarre stories that they just, it's like, why? You know, like Jordan Maxwell, his information was solid, but he still had that story where he said he met a paladin one day, the human with 6 fingers. Did he? No, not paladin. Palladian. Did I say paladin? Say, I've been playing too much Dungeons and Dragons. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not going to apologize for that. There's no. Yeah. So I saw I saw the word somewhere, and it just rang with me. I forget. It wasn't spelled the same way that I spell it. And then after I started using it, I found the word again in a text called the Reptilian Hunter's Manual, saying that Vikings used to use it when they went around to identify rulers as reptilian shapeshifters. They had a word that was like Kinninigan that they used. Kind of, it was spelled en instead of an. That story's going to go into my book. It's kind of like the prologue chapter where I'm just going to explain who I am, the history of my research, how I came across this name. Does it work? I don't. Well, they won't say it. They won't mention it. They won't even acknowledge that I exist. Go ask any YouTube channel with 1 million subs who's doing a video about reptilians if they want to have Kinninigan on their show. And I know specific ones. I'm not going to call them out by name. They know who the hell they are because I know who they work with, and they'll act like I don't exist. But they will plagiarize my reptilian research, and none of them have shit. Like none of them can tell you where the root of the word grotesque came from, or how they use Han purple to shapeshift, or not exactly shapeshift, come through the fourth to the third dimension. And yes, it was blood magic that started invoking these entities in Atlantis. But what would have made the Atlanteans turn to, or an Atlantean start doing blood magic in the first place? Yeah, that's something to And then we have the reptilians who tell the same story with their war against women going to Pandora's box and Eve biting the. This is what the agenda is right now. It's a war against women because now they blame all the evil on Earth being from the woman, when in fact no, evil started coming into this realm when you tricked Atlanteans into doing blood magic. And this is the same shit just repeating itself throughout history, accusing others what they're guilty of. This is why I say they're parasites, because apex predators don't have to do that. If they were 1,200-pound lizards, I don't think the word grotesque would have been used to describe them by French archaeologists. They'd have been like, well, they look like dinosaur men. Well, dinosaur wasn't around until, that was a word that wasn't invented until the late 1800s. I don't know when the excavations for Nero's palace, I could look that up, but I think you get the idea. Demons, and this is how I know they're not demons depicted in Nero's palace, because demons in ancient Rome, I did video about this. I'll re-upload it to YouTube. The demons in ancient Rome. Anyone ever see Passion of the Christ? Mel Gibson knows his shit. I'll tell you that right now. When he depicted Lucifer, it's not a baby that Mary is holding when Jesus goes by, and no, it's a small human with a very large head, a lot like an alien gray. In ancient Rome, demons are depicted as not children, although some people might mistake them for children. No, they're not children. They're small humans with very large heads. A lot like Alien Great. They're the Archons. So it would not have been demons depicted on the wall of the grottos. No, it was Alpha Draconians. And Nero himself was probably an Alpha Draconian. So, anyway, at the end of the day, it's still idolatry, which that's another construct of theirs. Yeah, and if we don't do anything soon, they'll continue to rip all of our statues down while they replace them with pagan idols. Yeah, it's like the boiling frog in water. People will keep denying it until there's nothing you can do about it. And everyone that helped them along in their agenda will be backstabbed by them because they don't give a shit about any humans. So anyway, that's all from my rant. If you could support the channel, all the links are in the description. Yeah, that is the root of the word grotesque. Yeah, we'll have to send Nancy Pelosi a link to this video and tell her to stop using words you don't know the meaning of. She probably can't even spell grotesque because she's probably too drunk. But oh well. Okay, Nero's Golden Palace. Yeah, that's. This does look like a ritualistic room right here. I wouldn't doubt that it would be. Me, I would never want a palace with 200 rooms, even though I'm a Leo. You think I would? No, because I have cats. And to me, I do not want to be in a house with 200 rooms worrying about my cats all day. Cat owners might understand. Yeah, we don't need huge palaces. I'll be looking for my cats all day. Yeah, any good thumbnails? I guess not. So yeah, just some more information there. What is a good word to describe reptilians? Grotesque, because that's where that word comes from. I do have sort of an academic link to this. I showed you the Italian art at Nero's Golden Palace and grotesque. Come on, you think that's a coincidence? What is this grotesque art at Nero's Palace? Well, it's not there anymore. It's been removed. Anyway, any questions or comments, leave them below. God bless and take care.